Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Wong, more famously known as Carter Wong, was born on March 22, 1947. He is best known as Tae Woo Ching in the classic kung fu movie Born Invincible and Brother Wan in the 18 Bronze Men. To Western audiences, he is better known as Thunder in John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China in 1986. When Wong was 8 years old, he began learning Chinese kung fu. He said that he often saw the older men practicing kung fu and he fell in love with the movements. He asked his mother if he could learn kung fu, and she took him to an old master who had trained at Shaolin Temple. Wong began his training under the guidance of the Shaolin monk, who was the Grand Master of Wudang Qigong. Once a week for a number of years, his mother would take him by boat to the old master's home on a Sunday to practice kung fu. In addition to Chinese kung fu, Wong would in later years also travel to Japan, Thailand, and Korea to train with the masters of karate, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, and Hapkido. He has achieved Dan in all of these styles and is now a grandmaster in his own system called Chung Hop Kien. He also founded the International Chung Hop Kien World Federation. This system is based on Chinese Kung Fu mixed with Muay Thai, Taekwondo, Hapkido, and Karate. It is represented in many countries around the world, including China, America, Canada, Australia, and Europe. There are also branches in South America and Southeast Asia. As Wong himself would put it, his entry into movie making was purely by accident. His friend Sammo Hung was about to star in the classic film Hapkido for Golden Harvest Studio, alongside Angela Mayo. The director needed a third person for a leading role. Initially, they wanted Chang Yi for the part, but he was unavailable. Sammo, being aware of Wong's ability as a martial artist, suggested him to the director, who invited Wong to the set for an audition. Wong showed up to the set and did some demonstrations. While he did his demo, the brother of a friend of Wong showed up and helped to influence the director's decision to hire Wong. That friend's brother was none other than the legendary Bruce Lee. After Hapkido in 1972, Wong would film 2 more movies in 1973 for Golden Harvest, Back Alley Princess and When Taekwondo Strikes, both with Angela Mayo. They would go on to make a few other movies together. From 1974 onwards, Wong would go on to make appearances in a number of kung fu movies. With his versatility, he could convincingly play any character. He could be a Shaolin monk in the 18 Bronze Men 1976, a supporting character in Snake in the Eagle's Shadows Part 2, 1978, or the main villain in the classic movie Born Invincible, also 1978. In the close to 100 films he has done, there are countless classics amongst them, but according to Wong himself, the crowning achievement of his career was being given the role of Thunder in the Hollywood cult classic Big Trouble in Little China in 1986. He got the role after he beat out hundreds of other actors who auditioned for it. After landing the role in Big Trouble in Little China, Wong moved to America, where he opened up more martial arts schools. He also continued to star in both films and television, as well as do behind-the-scenes choreography. His biggest behind-the-scenes job was on the movie Rambo Part 3, where he choreographed fight scenes for Sylvester Stallone. Wong has never been married, nor does he have any children. You could see he has been married to his job. Throughout the years, he has maintained his martial arts training. He said he still trains approximately 2 hours every day. Even at the age of 75, he has maintained his muscular physique and appears to be in good health. With his many contributions to the genre of martial arts cinema, it is guaranteed that his legacy is safe and secured. To Grandmaster Carter Wong, we say, thanks for the memories. Chan Singh was born in Bangkok, Thailand on September 29, 1936. Some sources say it's December 29, 1936 in Singapore. His family moved to Hainan, China when he was 4 years old. He began his education in Wenchang Chiwei village. His high school years were spent at Haikou First Middle School. He would then become a teacher at the age of 16 and taught at the 11th primary school in Haikou. He would then go on to Wanam Agricultural University in Guangdong. But after his first year, he was chased by communist guards. To avoid being captured, he would go to Hong Kong in 1958. In the late 60s, he would find his way into the movie industry. His first appearance would be as a thug in the movie Beauty Struck in 1967. He then appeared in the Shaw Brothers movies Dead End, The Return of the One-Armed Swordsman, and The Invincible Fist, all in 1969. He would then leave Shaw Brothers in 1972 after starring in 18 films with the studio. His first lead role was in the movie The Bloody Fist in 1972. This hit movie turned out to be the great NGCN directorial debut, with choreography done by the legendary Yang Wu-ping. This movie would pair him against another legend of the genre, Soji Kurada, in what became their first of many on-screen battles. He and Soji would work together in a number of other movies such as The Angry Guest, The Good and the Bad, Gold Snatchers, and Rage of the Wind, to name a few. He would also feature in a number of Jimmy Wang Yu's films, such as The Chinese Boxer and Four Real Friends. Because of his exotic Southeast Asian features, his mustache and his muscular physique, right from the beginning of his acting career, Chan was considered to be perfect for villain roles as opposed to leading men roles. He was nicknamed the Asian Charles Bronson. When Chan was not acting, he was a karate instructor for Goju-Ryu and Goju-Kai karate. He was also a Hong Kong prison officer and would often do demonstrations for the Singapore police system together with Tan Tao Lian and his good friend Kam Kong. Throughout much of the 1970s, Chan would continue to work for various movie companies. He played the lead villain in New Fist of Fury for Lowe Motion Picture Company, Bruce Lee the Invincible for Wuzu Film Company, The Tattoo Connection for First Films, and he co-starred with Sammo Hung in the movie The Iron-Fisted Monk for Golden Harvest in 1981. He possessed the ability to alternate between playing heroes and villains quite believably. He had a great on-screen presence with his unique style of martial arts skills due to his legitimate expertise in karate. Throughout the 70s into the 80s, Chan would remain extremely busy. He would become a staple in the Kung Fu movies boom of the 70s, occasionally showing up as a hero, but mainly featured as a formidable villain. In the 1980s, Chan would take a change of pace and would appear in not only action, but other genres of movies, including the first installment of the comedy action caper, Aces Go Places. With a filmography boasting a massive 143 movies in 23 years, Chan decided to leave the Hong Kong industry behind in 1996. He moved to Canada, first to Vancouver and then to Toronto, where he lived in retirement with his wife, Elizabeth, and their son. In 2017, he had to deal with the tragic death of his only son, George Edward Chan, to cancer. A mere 2 years later, in 2019, the legendary actor would himself transition, but by then his legacy in martial arts cinema was safe and secured. To Chan Sing we say, rest in peace and thanks for the memories. Chen Hui-mei, more famously known as Michael Chan Wai-man, was born on the 10th of July 1946 in Hong Kong, New Territories. He is an actor, director, producer, bodyguard and martial artist. He started his martial arts training at the age of 10, studying Northern Shaolin Kung Fu under Master Yao Han. He also learned Western boxing. Chan would get picked on a lot growing up in Hong Kong in the 50s. As a result, he would end up in many fights. He had a natural ability for fighting, so when he took up martial arts, he excelled quickly. However, needing a more practical method for street fighting, he took up Western boxing. He became so good at it, he would end up becoming a boxing champion in Hong Kong in 1972. He would also be crowned the East Asian Kung Fu fighting champion. Chan would also enter many empty-handed Kung Fu tournaments and would fight anywhere. He often fought much bigger opponents from the West, boxers who were stationed in the British Army bases in Hong Kong. He once said in an interview, "For my weight, I could punch very hard. At the time I used to enter these empty-hand fighting tournaments. Compared to me, the fighters couldn't hit hard, so I used to knock them out. Later, the standard of those kind of matches improved." There are videos of Chan in actual kickboxing fights on YouTube. In at least one of the videos, one of his corner men is the legendary Wong. Chan would go on to study many other fighting styles, including Thai boxing and Taekwondo. When he was 18 years old, Chan became a correctional officer and then joined the Royal Hong Kong Police Force, but he would be kicked out due to his connections to the Hong Kong triads. In an interview, he admitted to having once been the number 2 in the 14K triad that controlled the territory of Sim Sam Shiu. He would go on to say, Back then, being a triad member was not a bad thing, and that there were rules, there was honor among peers. Chan said that he had no aspiration to be an actor. However, in 1972, at the age of 26, he had a fortuitous encounter that would give him an opportunity to become a movie star. Film producer Victor Lam would see Chan on television in one of his empty hand fights in Taiwan. Lam was so impressed by Chan's fighting ability, he cast him in the movie Love and Blood, aka Killer from Denmark. That same year, he would also feature in the movies The Blacklist and The Good and the Bad, both starring the legendary Chan Singh. It did not take Chan long to make his mark on the movie world. The following year, 1973, he would feature in 10 films. In 4 of them, he would play the lead: Angry Tiger, Chinese Hercules, The Escaped Convict, and Chinese Godfather. Chan Wei-man had arrived. Throughout the remainder of the 70s into the 80s and 90s, Chan would average between 6 and 8 movies per year. He would occasionally play the hero, like in the movie Shaolin Handlock, 1978, also starring David Chan and Lo Lei. However, it was his villainous roles for which he is best remembered. His roles like in the movies The Deadly Breaking Sword, 1979, and The Heroes, 1980, both co-starring Tai Lung, Chinese Super Ninjas, and My Rebellious Son, both in 1982. Chan would go on to film over 174 movies and made countless appearances in television series. From independent productions to Golden Harvest and Shaw Brother films, Chan has starred alongside most of the genre's biggest movie names. He would also direct 3 movies, produce 4, and was action director for 10 films. He also ran his own film company. As recent as the year 2021, Chan was still active in movies. He featured in the movie Heaven Road. Even after 50 years of movie making, he is showing no signs of slowing down. For someone who had no aspiration to be in the movies, Chan most certainly left his mark on the genre and secured his place in martial arts cinema. To Michael Chan Wei-man, we say, thanks for the memory. Leong Cayan, also known as Brian Leong, was born on the 20th of January 1949 in Guangdong, China. He is known affectionately to his fans as Beardy. He is a Hong Kong actor and director, and is one of the most well-known faces in Hong Kong action cinema for almost 50 years. Leong would appear in his first film in 1974 in the Shaw Brothers movie Shaolin Martial Arts. He would then go on to feature in 7 more films for the studio until 1976. Films such as 5 Shaolin Masters, 1974, Marco Polo, 1975, Boxer Rebellion, 7-Man Army, and Shaolin Avengers, all in 1976. In his early roles, he would usually play a secondary bad guy, but even in those early performances, you could tell there was something special about this individual. His on-screen presence and fighting ability made him stand out, making it all the more difficult to believe that he had no formal training as a martial artist. He possessed the uncanny ability to see a fighting move once and to learn it immediately. And being a regular basketball player, he was already in great physical shape. He would continue making movies for independent companies for the next 2 years. It was not until 1978 when legendary actor-director Sammo Hung cast him as a villain in the movie Enter the Fat Dragon that the opportunity would arise for Leong to play a leading role. Sammo was so impressed by Leong's talent that he decided to cast him in what was to become the now classic film Warriors 2. Leong would play Wing Chun Master Leong Jan alongside Casanova Wong and Sammo himself. After his amazing acting performance in the movie Warriors 2, Leong's true potential was recognized by other directors and the movie audiences. He would then feature in supporting roles in the movie Dreadnought with Yeng Bu and Kwan Tak Hing, and Knockabout, again with Yeng Bu. These performances would further establish Leong's credibility as a leading man. He played both heroes and villains with such equal competence that movie studios started offering him different type of movie roles. In Dreadnought, he played Wong Fei Hong's student, Leung Fu. It was also the first of many collaborations with director Ying Wu Ping. He would go on to star in quite a few of Ying Wu Ping's films, including the classic Legend of a Fighter, in which he portrayed the legendary historical figure, Cayan. Wong is one of those actors who could seamlessly fit in anywhere with anyone. However, there were some actors with whom he especially shone. Sammo Hung and Yin View, with whom he shared many classic films. The late Alexander Fucheng, in films such as Shaolin Martial Arts, Marco Polo, and Shaolin Adventures. But the collaboration both he and the movie audience seemed to enjoy most was when he teamed up with the legendary Philip Coe. They starred together in more than 24 films. Amongst them are such classics as Two on the Road, Iron Hand Boxer, and Legend of a Fighter. After a successful run in the late 70s and early 80s, with classic movies such as Thundering Mantis 1979, The Victim 1980, and Legend of a Fighter 1982, he was also given a couple of leading roles in short brothers, such as Secret Service of the Imperial Court and New Tales of the Flying Fox, both in 1984. He could also be considered as one of the pioneers of the gun fu movie genre, as he starred in the movies Profiling Anger, which he also directed in 1984, Danger Has Two Faces, and Hong Kong Godfather, both in 1985. As the years passed, Wong was not being offered any leading roles. It would not be until Jet Li's Last Hero in China that we saw him back in a big-budget movie, portraying the same character he played in the classic film, Dreadnought. In 2005, Wong was asked to star in a TV series called Real Kung Fu, starring Ying View and Yen Hua, playing a master who would teach Kung Fu to Ying View's character. He spoke in an interview about this, saying, he very much enjoyed working on this type of project, as he felt he was back in shape and ready for action. He also starred in the movie True Legend, which was choreographed by Ying Wu Ping, and also starred Vincent Zhao and Gordon Liu. In more recent years, he starred in the movie Empire of Assassins with Chen Kwang Tai and the late Wu Ma. As of 2019, he could still be seen in minor cameos as special favors to friends such as Sammo. From his millions of fans worldwide to Leon Cayan, we say, thanks for the memories. Fai Ko Fei, more famously known as Philip Kao Fei, was born on the 19th of June 1949 in Hong Kong. His family moved to mainland China while he was still a baby. As a young boy, he would begin his training in Choi Li Fut Kung Fu. Shortly after, he would enroll at the University of China, where he pursued commerce and liberal arts. However, he would complete his final years of university studies in Hong Kong. In order to sustain himself and get by, Kao Fei worked as an instructor in theatre and film and as a waiter in a restaurant. One day he met a friend who worked at the famous Shaw Brothers studio. With a little encouragement from his friend, he would join the studio. His first role was as a dead body. It was in 1970 that he made his first credited film debut as a guard in the movie Heroic Ones, starring David Chan. Kao would work as both a stuntman and bit-part actor in many of Shaw Brothers' early martial arts films, as well as with many other producers. He can even be seen in Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon. During the mid-70s, Kao Fei would work for other film companies where he played more supporting roles. He could be seen in seasonal films The Secret Rivals Part 2, First International Films The Hot, the Cool and the Vicious, and likewise The Invincible Armor, to name a few. Two early attempts were made on the Taiwanese market to make Kao Fei into a leading man. In 1973, he was given the lead role in the movie Return of the Hero of the Waterfront, then again in 1974's Blood Revenge. Unfortunately, those films did not perform well enough on the Hong Kong market to give Kao Fei leading man status. Kao Fei has had a very strange trajectory as an actor, strange in the sense that although in the mind of the moviegoers he was already a star, it was not uncommon to see him in a movie such as Green Jade Statuette 1978 as a common thug, then as the main bad guy in the movie Dragon on Fire, also in 1978. Goldvic Films gave Kao the chance to shine as both the hero and the villain. In Tiger Over War, he would take on the super kicker Huang Zhang-Li. The end fight in this movie is considered by many to be one of the best kung fu film fights of the late 70s or period. Meanwhile, in Duel of the Seven Tigers, he can be seen playing a Japanese karate expert on a mission to show the superiority of karate over kung fu. In the late 70s and early 80s, Cao Fei would collaborate with Golding and star in many films that are now considered to be classic by the lovers of the kung fu movie genre. Movies like Two Wondrous Tigers, 1977, co-starring John Chan, Duel of the Seven Tigers, 1979, Tiger Over War, 1980, and Two on the Road, 1980, co-starring Wang Longwei and Leon Cayan, another frequent collaborator whose team-ups with Cao Fei are legendary. Cao Fei will continue his transition from the classic Kung Fu era to the modern-day martial arts action films, where he could be seen taking on the likes of Jackie Chan in Dragons Forever and Heart of the Dragon, and many of Joseph Lai's IFT Ninja films. Cao Fei made his debut as a director with the 1982 film Dirty Angel, in which he also starred along with Norman Chu and Danny Lee. After that movie, he would continue to direct other films, such as Millennium Dragon, Guns N' Roses, and Final Run. Having starred in 251 movies, directing 54 movies, action director of 27 movies, writer of 11 movies, and producer of 28 movies, not to mention many more credits and accolades. It is no exaggeration to state that Philip Cao Fei fulfilled his purpose and his destiny, and in doing so, became a legend of martial arts cinema. In the mid-1990s, Cao Fei relocated to the Philippines, where he continued to make movies, some starring his ex-wife, Japanese icon Yukari Oshima. Cao Fei had become a jack of all trades in the Hong Kong movie industry, and so, by March 30th, 2017, when he transcended to another realm, he had conquered every genre of Hong Kong cinema. But his most lasting impression has without a doubt been to martial arts cinema. To Philip Cao Fei we say, rest in peace and thanks for the memories. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and feel free to leave a comment. Thank you, and may the food be with you.